First, come to part one. Do you see your friends very often?
Yes, quite often actually, because one of my friends are my classmates, so we usually meet each other. But some of them live in different places, so we hardly meet.
Do you like to spend time with friends?
Yes, of course, because as you know, we are in the same school, so we should like to see each other every day. And we also have a lot of things in common, so we can have many interesting topics to talk about.
Okay, so do you usually have conflicts with your friends?
Not usually, but sometimes we do have some conflicts about certain things. However, we still resolve them and make peace with each other. And I think that in a relationship, whether it's friends or lover or even your family member, there can be disputes and disagreements.
I see, so how would you describe a good relationship?
For me, I think a good relationship consists of two people who love, trust, believe, and support each other. People in that relationship should also give each other space and respect them.
And do you ever help a friend by giving advice?
Yes, I usually give my friends suggestions about anything like studies, school, and so on that I know or have been through. And basically, it just all depends on what I think and what I know.
Now, moving on to part two. The topic is describe an occasion when someone gave you positive advice or suggestions about your work or study. You have 1 minute to prepare.
I'm going to tell you about when someone give me some advice or suggestion about my study. When I have problem with something, I usually turn to my mom for some advice. That is the time when I was preparing for the entrance exam from secondary school to high school. And I have to say that that is the most stressful time that I have had. Because as you know, it's a different from the university entrance exam. It's only have one chance to do, so I cannot make too many mistakes on it. If I wanted to go to a good school in the city. At that time, I had too much homework, extra classes, too many things need to be finished, so I clearly have no time to rest. And I felt so pressured and stressed that I had thought about giving up since this was the first time I had this kind of experience. Then my mom came up and she gave me so much encouragement. She said that was the time to see the result of my hard work. So try my best and don't leave any regrets left. She had given me a lot of cheering, motivation, and this had changed me a lot in my way of thinking. I just told myself that I could do it and it's good about to end, then I will be free. I feel so thankful to my mom and also my family member had this quotation and helped me so much. So that is how the advice and suggestion had affected me.
Now let's come to part three. The first question is when should parents encourage their children?
Well, I think that parents should encourage children when their child have achieved a goal that they feel very proud of it. And in this case, the encouragement from the parents will make them more confident and believe in themselves. And also when they feel stuck or lack of interest, parents should give them some motivation and cheer to help them figure out the solution for themselves.
Should parents always encourage their children?
It is crucial for children to receive some encouragement from their parents. It will give them more confidence and certainty in their choice. But parents should give them some motivation and cheering when they have the right choice which are good for them, not the bad things that will harm them.
Do you think negative feedback is more important than positive feedback? Why or why not?
While it depends, negative feedback is not always bad. In some cases, but actually if people doing something wrong, then it will help people to realize their mistake or shortcomings. Sometimes it will be an element for people to work on the problem. In contrast, for some people, when hearing really bad comments about themselves will make them feel self-deprecating and lose their confidence.
Why is negative feedback as important as positive feedback at work or in study?
Because people can learn from their mistake. Positive comments will give people more confidence and develop the skill and area of improvement, while negative feedback will point out people's mistakes that they may not know. Hence, people will realize and find a way to fix them. So we can say that both negative and positive are mutual for everyone.
Okay, do you see your friend very often?
Well, when I was a little girl, I used to hang out with my friends whenever I have free time. We usually spend time at the park playing Vietnamese traditional games. But now, as a high school student, I get busier and barely get together with my besties during weekdays. I try to meet them at least twice per month, which may not seem much, but it seems to be enough for us to update on our daily life.
Do you like to spend time with your friends?
To be honest, I spend most of my time sticking with my best friends. We are really well matched in interests, so it have always been easy for us to find a topic to share things together. And being around them helps prevent negative thoughts from coming into my mind, especially when I have just got through important exams.
Do you usually have conflicts with your friends?
Actually, conflicts rarely happen among our relationship, but when there are serious ones, we seem to argue a lotly and sulk for a long time. But after all, to avoid drifting apart, we sit together, listen to each other to solve problems as clearly as possible.
How would you describe a good relationship?
For me, a good relationship is a circle of friends who are honest. You know, best friends are supposed not to hide any secrets from each other. If the secrets are too personal to share, we should tell them the truth instead of telling lies, because that may gradually destroy our healthy relationship and we may fall out with each other.
Do you ever help a friend by giving advice?
Yeah, of course. I am always willing to give my friends a hand whenever they have difficulties doing homework, especially in literature, which I clue up on most. This will also help us to develop a sense of sharing, whether they are tangible things or inspirational or motivational words of wisdom.